You're listening to the Nature's Image Farm podcast. I'm your host, Greg Burns, and we're talking bees, homesteading, and the old-time ways. This episode is brought to you by EnduraHive wax-dipped equipment. The days of painting bee boxes are over. Our unique wax-dip process expels water from the wood, replaces and impregnates it with our proprietary blend of microcrystalline wax, offering superior weather protection inside and out, without the mess or expense of paint. No paint, no rot, no hassle. EnduraHive, built to endure. For more information, check them out at naturesimagefarm.com. Now, on to the show. I want to welcome everyone to another Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. As you can see here, I've tried to pretty my screen up a little bit. I've got the boss lady with me tonight. Susie, say hi.
Hey, guys.
We've got
there you go. Okay, I've done this before.
We got Brian Coper coming in from Northeast Ohio, and Bruce Jenny from Dothan, Alabama. Good to see you, fellas. How's everything going?
It's going good. Busy.
Yeah. It's been a pretty exciting day for a lot of folks in the Midwest, and our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who suffered any kind of loss with these hellacious storms that came through. Brian, how did the homestead and the apiary do with the storms that ripped through?
Well, about 3:30 in the morning last night is when the pup decided that it was time to wake up. So, the house around here, we pretty much got the heavy rain, had hail, lightning, everything else. I did not even go over and check the colonies. I keep them all with ratchet straps. I mean, everybody knows, like, I go overboard as far as how I protect those things. So I don't worry when storms come through like that because of how I have them set up. I even have, 4-foot posts hammered down in the ground, and then I've zipped those to my hive stand. So you could probably run into my hives with a tractor and they probably would not knock over. So they're pretty secure. Lucky, like today we were on my little weather station. We were solid 20-mile-an-hour winds for quite some time. So it hit us pretty good, but no damage, thankfully. So, yeah,
that's awesome. There were a lot of the word was just west in that Indiana area, 2-inch hail and really, really terrible winds and rains and things. And we'll get into it a little bit more. But Bruce, how about you? Did you get any of that weather at all?
I think it was a little cloudy and breezy today, but I was in the hospital, so I didn't experience any of that. But I think we're in like the 70s and low 80s here, so it's
you were in the hospital crazy. For work or for personal?
For work.
Oh, okay.
I worked at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, I worked at the hospital today. So
okay, good.
When I'm in there, I can look outside occasionally, but I have really no idea what it's really like outside. Most of the time, I'm not looking out because it's in a big concrete building, so it's like just can't wait to get out of there. But came out this evening. It was a beautiful evening. It was just very pleasant, just a little breeze blowing. It was very nice outside. Springtime weather here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, I'm glad everything's smooth sailing down there. Much of Ohio, our neck of the woods, of course, we've got the warnings that all came through. It wasn't tornado watches, it was tornado warnings, which was kind of seek shelter. So luckily it was, around 6:15, 6:30 this morning. So
that's when you rolled out of bed. I actually got you up at 6.
Right, exactly. And got the kids out of bed and got them all into the basement. Yeah. And so, of course, it was that eerie moment where everything was just still and silent and quiet. And it was one of those beautiful, horrific moments where it's everything that you see in a movie where you're waiting, you feel like you're in the eye of the storm, and then everything waiting to hit. But thankfully, it went from that eerie quiet, and I'm waiting, and then I heard it. Spring peepers.
Oh.
I mean, like you could just, it was so beautiful.
Wow.
And then the rain came back, just sprinkling pitter patters. Yeah. And then that was it. We really escaped that one. It hit north and northwest of us just by a little bit. But so we were very thankful that we've been hit before and suffered tremendous loss.
Yeah.
And we shared that video this morning, picking up the pieces, which kind of outlines that. So we did spend the day at Grandma Terry's cleaning up the trees. They had 60 and 70 foot red oaks and maples that were just, I don't even know.
Snap like a toothpick.
You can't wrap your arms around them. It takes two of us to get around them. And those things were, not only were they just sheared off, but they were uprooted. So you talk about some tremendous winds and a very narrow band come through. So anyways, I spent the day working on my man glitter. I actually just pulled the shavings out of my ears on the way home, but we work on man glitter, getting sawdust in your nose and ears and eyes all day. I actually, under the circumstances, you don't pray for those kind of events, but it's a lot of fun when you're out there, working together. Yeah. You got chainsaws singing in harmony.
You got tractors and equipment. Face. 3 chainsaws at once, and it was like heaven's bells for him. It was just, you should have seen that kid. If he could have, if I could have captured that moment and anything other than my memories, I said, he just paused, and I said, "Do you like that sound?" And he said, "Yeah."
So you guys needed your family photographer there, because I recognized one of those pictures there. Now we need to add on there photo credits, Brian.
That's right. Brian Coper made it to one of the hilltops with us to take a family photo there. It's actually right here in this little intro. So
it's nothing short of a miracle when you can get all 9 of us in one spot.
Right. And then have somebody there to take the photo. So exactly. thanks, Brian, for shooting the family photo a couple of years back, or whenever that was.
Let me know, and I could come down there and I could capture, the Burns family moments.
There you go. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. If you're listening live, if you're listening to the Nature's Image Farm podcast, or you're listening to the replays later, we want to thank you for spending some time with us tonight. Fellas, there's a lot going on, not just today, but spring. So it doesn't matter if you're a naysayer, if you're a doubter, or if you're a shouter. Spring is here in my book. The spring peepers are out, the maples are blooming, and it is just the crocuses. Everything is just jumped up, ready to go. Doesn't mean we're not going to have some cold snaps in between, but the trees aren't stopping, the flowers aren't stopping, the ground cover's not stopping. Everything is ramping up, and the thing that every single year when I hear it, I'm so pumped up. And that was this morning, hearing those spring peepers. It is full on. So I thought we could spend a little bit of time today, guys, talking about spring prep, some of the big things that we feel like really makes a difference and makes an impact for the rest of our season with beekeeping. And so we'll get into that tonight. Also, we've got a big deal. Tonight, we are going to be giving away some of the brand new Propola and DuraHive wax dipped boxes.
Wow.
You talk about the best boxes just got better. So we are really proud to be collaborating with Premier Bee Products, and we are doing all the wax dipping for them on both their Pure line and their Propola lines of boxes. And of course, we stock here in the shop both of those, including the brand new Propola and DuraHive wax dipped box. Brian's there. Look at Brian. There you go.
That's Joe with the hair.
Just it's super neat boxes. Yeah. We'll talk a lot more about those as the spring kind of rolls off. But in short, a lot of us understand that the propolis envelope inside of a colony is extremely important. And there's been a lot of study and research. We've been field trialing boxes over the last 3 years to see what bees do with different textured configurations. And we are really proud that Premier Bee Products have put the time and testing and research and study into creating a box that more mimics a natural bee tree. So it's one thing to be able to rough up your boxes on the inside. It's one thing to be able to order as many boxes as you want with that uniform texture on the inside. I'll show you here one briefly if I can. Oh, let's see. So you can kind of see here, this is weird. This is a box within a box. You can see on the inside of these boxes here, the bees absolutely go to town. All of that color, that yellow, that red, that is all propolis inside of the colony. And they do an amazing job of filling all of those voids. Now, there's a lot of fantastic research done by Marla Spivak with the University of Minnesota. There's a lot of research from the USDA lab down in Baton Rouge. There's been research for decades, but now what's beautiful is the research has now been put into practice with equipment to actually do the thing that they've been researching. And so we're really excited to be a part of bringing propola to the market, but wax dipped propola. And so tonight we're offering several fun things. Number one, we're going to give away 2 propola wax dip boxes tonight. We'll ship them out right from here. So stay tuned. Luckily, Brian's on here. He can help folks with the Wheel of Fortune thing. That's pretty cool. We also wanted to offer a Stream Team special just for tonight. It's going to end at 11:59, but 10% off the Propola and DuraHive wax dip boxes and 10. Look at Brian.
He's so fancy.
Brian's got the fancy stuff. He does that. We do this, and what do we get?
Nothing.
Wait a minute.
It'll work for me. I wanted to work for me too, but my dang Mac won't
Okay,
do it.
Bruce, you try it. Bruce, you try it.
I did. It doesn't work. Mine doesn't work.
It doesn't. It's not work. Brian has the magic.
He's so cool. Look. What in the world?
Isn't that amazing?
Our computer's fired.
Brian's the whiz. He just knows all the things.
What?
Look at that.
I
Man.
just don't get it.
Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, man.
We're not cool enough.
We're not cool enough. Well,
That's
we can
okay.
try to compensate.
At least we're friends with Brian. It compensates for not being cool enough.
Well,
we can.
I'm
It's
trying
my computer.
to be as cool as the people that, are giving away all of these boxes and stuff. I'm trying to hit that level. I will never get there. Fancy fireworks and everything else. I'm not going to get there.
Wow.
So,
Well, stay tuned tonight for the duration of this stream and until 11:59 tonight. 10% off Propola and DuraHive wax dip boxes and 10% off Hive Alive pollen patties on our website at naturesimagefarm.com using discount code Stream Team number 10. Stream Team and then number 10. I don't know, Brian, can you put a
Can I do that? Is that backwards?
can you put one of those fancy things on the bottom where it says that?
What?
0.
There you go.
it's all one word, Stream Team.
I'm a
10.
homeschool mom. It's okay.
Yep, Stream Team, the number 10
For a 10% discount.
for 10% off Hive Alive pollen patties and Propola and DuraHive wax dip box.
They've got
There
it
we
right
go.
there. That's an A student right there. CD.
DuraHive boxes. There we go.
Oh, DC's bees just missed out. Well, hey, we try to find ways to. Thanks, Brian. You just leave that on. That'd be great. naturesimagefarm.com. So check that out. So we'll get into that a little bit more tonight. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are making a big difference as we prep for spring. And so if you're just tuning in, if you've never heard about wax dip boxes or what that's all about, I'm going to play this quick video here, and then we'll jump right into spring prep talk. And we also have a special guest tonight. joining us to talk about a really cool event coming possibly to your neck of the woods. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Greg Burns, founder of Nature's Image Farm and EnduraHive wax-dipped equipment. Hey, as large family beekeepers, we saw a major need to do way better in protecting our investment with our beekeeping equipment from the elements for the long haul. So I coupled our practical beekeeping experience with our wood science background to create the EnduraHive wax-dipped line of beekeeping equipment. Our unique wax dip process expels water from the wood, replaces and impregnates it with our proprietary blend of microcrystalline wax, offering superior weather protection without the mess or expense of paint. Our equipment is protected from the weather inside and out, preventing box rot, fungal growth, and decomposition. That's a huge savings in both time and money. No more reworking tired, worn out boxes year after year. Our wax-dipped equipment is proudly made in the USA. So protect your investment with EnduraHive wax-dipped equipment. No paint, no rot, no hassle. EnduraHive, built to endure. Awesome. So check that out. Tonight only, discount code use STREAMTEAM10 for a 10% discount off Hive Alive pollen patties and the all-new Propola EnduraHive wax dip box. Visit us at naturesimagefarm.com. So I'm looking forward, Brian and Bruce, to getting your feedback also on these brand new boxes. I think they look good. They're built phenomenal, but more importantly, they're going to do well for the bees. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. It's 8:21. What do you say we go ahead and bring our guest on, and then we'll jump into our spring prep talk. We're really excited about an opportunity that the Stream team, Brian, Bruce, myself, and Susie, are going to head up to, I'm going to say it right this time, Wausau, Wisconsin, to the Beak Meet 2024. There's going to be some phenomenal speakers and a lot of just great beekeepers all in the same place. And they're bringing this conference, I think for the first time like this, to the central Wisconsin area, which is really exciting. You know, there's a lot of conferences all across the country. A lot of times they're down south, they're in the Northeast, or they're maybe in the Las Vegas area. But the Midwest, a lot of times, gets left out from some of these the conferences, the speakers, the vendors. And so really excited about Beak Meet 2024. There's going to be some great speakers on there. But rather than have me blab on all night long about that, there is someone who's really special, who's done a phenomenal job of really spearheading and putting this thing together. He has a great team helping him do it. But it's an honor tonight to bring on the one and only Michael Yankee. Michael, welcome to the Stream team.
Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful.
Absolutely. Well, first let us say thank you for all the work and dedication that you've put into the Beak Meet 2024. Can you tell us a little bit about what spurred the idea to put together a conference in Wisconsin?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, I would like to take a second to thank my wonderful wife. She's a big part of, making sure that I stay on track with everything that I'm doing. And I'd like to thank the great team of people that I'm working with to put the conference together. They've been phenomenal. We've learned a lot about each other. We've learned a lot about how this whole process of doing this stuff works. So I'd like to thank them. The idea stemmed from, we're an educational group, Central Wisconsin Beekeepers Association. We focus on education, providing education for new beekeepers in the area. And we thought, well, great opportunity to put a conference together. This is the first, we used to do it a long time ago. This is the first one we've done in about 5 years now. And we're under new leadership and we're putting together a strong team. And, I think it shows in the speakers that we have coming, the vendors that we have coming. One of the speakers being yourself. Should be a great time.
Well, it's a lot of fun to share what we do as a large family of beekeepers. It's a lot of fun when you get to just be yourself too. I'm looking forward to the stream team being there. Brian and Bruce are all coming along. The whole stream team gang is going to be there to just kind of spend time with folks, and maybe we'll take a little video footage as the event kind of unfolds that we can share a little bit later. We're looking forward to just kind of doing like we'll probably just roam around and talk with folks and maybe collect some footage and things to share later. These are great opportunities to spend time in fellowship with folks that you ordinarily wouldn't have the opportunity to do so. You just, there's so many folks that you see on YouTube videos, or you hear in podcasts, or you may see their social media presence, but never really have the opportunity to spend any face-to-face time with them. And I think that that's really important, because the face of conferences is drastically changing. And for the folks that are putting on conferences that are based on the things that folks actually want to see and learn from, they're exploding with growth and they're doing real well. Folks are voting with their wallet and showing up to support those kind of conferences. So Michael, we really appreciate you and your team for everything that you've done to help kind of spearhead and kick this off for Wisconsin. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the other speakers and some of the things that you're really excited about?
Absolutely. So when you came to me with the idea about the stream team getting involved with the audience, that I'm extremely excited about. I want to throw that out there right now. I think that's a really cool experience for everyone attending to have that face-to-face opportunity with you. I think that's really cool. And then we have obviously our keynote speaker, Cayman Reynolds. Great personality in that gentleman. We're excited to have him. We have Mr. Randy Oliver and Ian Stepler. They're going to be doing live Zoom presentations. We have Dr. Adam Ingrayo. He's from Heroes to Hives and Agribility. He's going to come and do a phenomenal presentation. We have Dr. David Peck from Better Bee. We have Adrian Quinney, who's going to do a presentation on treatment-free beekeeping. Chris Hansen from Hansen Honey Farm. Rich Schneider from Capital Bee Supply. Oh my goodness. We have William Warning from Sustainable Wisconsin Beekeeping. We have Mike and Lori Lawrence from Hamburg Honey. They are also on the planning committee with me. My personal mentor, John Evans, his wife is going to do a presentation on bee byproducts. It's just a great list of presentations from top to bottom, and we're super excited to see where it goes and provide people with the opportunity to learn something and then turn around and walk out the door and go visit some of the best vendors and suppliers of beekeeping equipment from around the country, and get the supplies they need to take that education and make it a reality. So that's our lineup, and we're excited about it. I love that pairing and how you and how your team has put that together, because you're bringing products and spotlighting those right in front of folks. They can see them, they can take a look at them, they can ask questions, they can spend time with the personalities and beekeepers that they are watching on YouTube and listening on podcast. A lot of great also just a beautiful variety of experienced beekeepers just sharing what they do. And I think that's a really big deal. A lot of times, sometimes conferences and such and educational opportunities are put together and they tend to leave out the practical side of beekeeping. They focus a lot on the charts and stats and more of the PhD aspect of beekeeping. And while those things are extremely important, they don't always resonate for a practical beekeeper. It's great information to have and to try to digest and understand, but a lot of us are more interested in saying, how does that information actually apply
to our beekeeping, and how can we put that into practice? And one of your speakers specifically, who is a PhD, does a phenomenal job of not only sharing the information, but sharing it in a practical way. And that's David Peck. We've had him on as well, and he's does a great job of he is the bridge between PhD and practical beekeeping. And so was just really excited, Michael, that you brought him into the conversation for the conference as well.
I agree completely. I kind of have a little funny story about that. I'm sitting here, every beekeeper has something that they want to get a little bit stronger with. And, so in the back of my mind, as we're putting this together, I'm like, okay, I want to see this presentation. I want to see this presentation. I want to see this presentation. Well, wait a minute. How do I choose? And then the reality set in that, I'm going to have tasks to do. I'm going to be running around making sure everything goes appropriately during the conference and everything else. And the realization came that I'm not actually going to get to sit down and learn from all these people that I idolize and that I learn beekeeping from, and they're going to be right there. So it's like one of those double-edged swords where, I'm happy that we can help provide the education, like you said, in a practical manner to people. I just wish, I wouldn't be missing so much of it. I might go MIA for one presentation and, see one presentation for myself. We'll see.
Well, hopefully some folks will be sharing the cliff notes and some footage and some ideas. Bruce, this is probably the farthest you've traveled for a beekeeping gig. What are you excited? What are you most excited about, Bruce, about coming up to Wisconsin?
Well, I think just getting up in a new area and meeting some people that, of course, we see on the chat here quite often, and just kind of talking to fellow beekeepers, people of like mind up in a different part of the country. I go out to Utah usually at least once a year, and every once in a while I'll get together with some beekeepers out there. But for the most part, it's folks right around here. And then, of course, the Cayman's Conference are the main people I've met, and the YouTube people that we all know. So it'll be neat to get up there and just kind of get to meet face to face with so many names that we actually see in our comments up here from the up, I guess, is it called the upper Midwest? What do they call it up there? It's the Great White North up there. Well, the Great White North, I guess, is Canada, but it's the north, way up north up there where you're at. And so it'll be neat to get up there and see kind of how things are done in Wisconsin. I've been to a lot of states, but I'm not sure if I've ever been through Wisconsin. I've been in a lot of places, but places like Wisconsin and Michigan and some of those uppermost states there, I don't know if I've visited before, maybe when I was real little, but no time recently that I would remember. So it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the invitation.
Make sure
honestly,
typically I would say dress warm.
Yeah.
I'll have. I mean, I lived in Utah for a few years. It gets pretty cold there, so I know. I mean, I can make it happen. I can stay warm if I need to. I'll look at the weather and make sure I'm able to dress appropriately.
Well, I know a lot of folks are looking forward to seeing Bruce and Brian. Go ahead, Michael. We got a little bit of lag there through.
I was just going to say, typically we'd be buried in snow right now, but yesterday it was 65 degrees and sunny. For a Wisconsinite like myself, that's typically flip flops and shorts and a t-shirt weather. And then we wake up today and it was 5 degrees, well into the negatives with the wind chill. The roads were solid ice, and we had flurries. But it's been a crazy winter here with the weather, and we could go from 60 degrees now to 2 feet of snow when you're driving here for the conference. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's that. I think everyone's state feels like they coined the phrase, "If you don't like the weather, just wait 20 minutes." I think everybody says that everywhere they go. But Bruce, I know a lot of folks are looking forward to seeing the Dothan Shogun come all the way up from Alabama to Wisconsin. So if you're an Alabama fan, make sure you bring a hat, and Bruce will even sign it for free, won't you, Bruce?
Absolutely.
Brian, what are you looking forward to most about, other than being in the truck with me and Susie the whole time, and all the bad jokes, and maybe all the bean burrito repercussions?
No,
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
No bean burritos on the way up there.
No.
Okay, I guess we're going to behave, Brian. No bean burritos for me or you. No hero Taco Bell for me or you, buddy. We're gonna have to make sure we behave. We'll have a lady
cheese up here.
Traveling. Meat and cheese.
I will. If you keep him away from bean burritos, I will never talk about the Top Bar Hive again.
Oh my gosh.
Deal.
Oh man.
Brian, what are you most looking forward to about going up to Wausau, Wisconsin for the Beak Meat 2024?
It's going to be awesome just being up there and getting to interact with everybody. I know there's another content creator that we've actually had in chat several times. I know has done work for several of us. Matt, when he heard about it, I texted him and I said, how far away from this conference are you? And he was like, I think it's like a 2.5 or 3 hour drive from him. And he said, let me check the schedule. And he texted me back like 2 minutes later. He said, I got my tickets. I'll see you there. So
awesome.
It's going to be great to, be able to shake hands with him, Michael, meet you up there. But yeah, that's really what I enjoy going to these conferences. It's, meeting those that we see in chat that are able to make these conferences. I enjoy just meeting all those folks. And, of course, I always say I like to try and catch, one of the presentations, but that never happens. So, but yeah, it's going to be awesome just being able to walk around and interact with everybody. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, I'm looking forward. There's so many fun aspects about that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The stream team hits the road this Saturday, March the 16th. If you'd like to head out there, check out cwbees.com. We will drop links in the descriptions here, but cwbees.com. Get your tickets now. So many great speakers, including Cayman Reynolds, Adam Ingreo, David Peck, myself, William Werning, Rick Schneider, Chris Hansen, Julie Evans, Mike and Lori Lawrence, Adrian Quinney, Randy Oliver, and Ian Stepler will be coming in from a live stream. The stream team will be there. I'll have my boss lady here, Susie, with me. It's going to be a lot of fun spending time. One of the great things about it is there's so many fun folks that are going to be there. Brian, you mentioned that Matt from the Matt and Sarah YouTube channel are going to be there. We have a long time podcast.
Well, don't call
friend.
him old.
Well, I mean, he's
an old
no
friend.
offense, Tom. Tom, if you're listening, if you're old, I didn't mean anything by it, or maybe I did. Tom Dahmers from the Small Scale Life podcast bought tickets just to come say hi. So that's a lot of fun. I think what's neat about this is when you bring the stream team in or the YouTube presence, you have folks from all over the place to come show up, support these kind of conferences. So I think, Michael, I think you did a great job by bringing the type of folks that you did in, and clearly folks are excited about that and are going to show up and vote with their wallet. So again, we'll drop links in the bottom, cwbees.com. Saturday, March 16th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the North Central Technical College in the Wausau, Wisconsin area. Michael, any final thoughts you'd like to share about the conference?
Just a thank you. Thank you for doing this for us. Working with you has been a pleasure. Getting to know you a little bit, and then it's just made it go by so fast, right? Getting to know all these people, planning everything has gone so fast, and now it's getting close. And honestly, I'm just ready to meet you, shake your hand, and start learning. So we're grateful for all the help that you've given us, and we can't wait to meet you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you and your team. Looking forward to seeing you all very soon, March the 16th. It's going to be awesome.
It's only a couple weeks away.
It's only a couple, and it's going to be a fun road trip. I can't wait for that kind of windshield time. I love it. Again, cwbees.com. Check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be one of those conferences that this is the ground roots, and you're going to see this thing grow and explode, and it's going to be another namesake. Right there it is. Beak Meat 2024 registration is open. cwbees.com. Guys, you might say, be there or B square?
I was going to say that, and I let you do it.
See what we did there?
I like
come on.
I like it.
Michael, we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us here on the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Michael, we'll see you soon.
Take care.
Hey, man.
Thank you.
Well, God, I'm looking forward to that. The Stream Team hits the road. I think it's going to be the first of many. What a fun opportunity that's going to be, guys. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the things that I love about the conferences is also one of the things that I hate about conferences when the Stream Team's there. It's so awesome to be here in one place together. And then when it's time to go, it's like, when is it going to be the next time? Brian's wearing his hat.
Yeah.
Brian's wearing the hat. It's official.
I mean, he's like, I hate when the Stream Teams, so I threw the Propola hat aside. I'm like, hating on the Stream Team. So
what I hate the most is when it's time to go and you're thinking, man, he
just likes you guys so much. He wants to be around you all the time.
Well, I do like you guys pretty good. But
you're embarrassing Bruce. Stop.
Oh, stop.
No, I'm fine. I can handle it.
But anyways, I'm really looking forward to that.
How many hours in the car do I get with you guys?
I think it's
how long of a drive is it?
Oh man, I think we're 9.5 hours.
Wow.
We're gonna pick up Bruce from the airport. Yeah, we'll pick up Bruce from the airport.
I know what we should do. We should just bring all the kids, and Brian will be bonkers by the time we're done.
You know what we need to do though?
Just kidding.
Bruce at the airport.
You say bring all the kids? I don't know about that.
We need to
love the kids. I love the kids on a road trip. I really do.
No, you stop.
But it's like maybe one day we'll win the lottery.
He wants one of those limousine windows that goes up and they can just go like, here's the snacks, throw them back, kids. All right, good luck.
Well, like a 40-foot RV or something. That would be really cool.
Actually, that was probably the funnest trips is the big RVs.
I love trips with the kids. With 7 kids, I mean, there are P stops every 3.5 seconds, it seems.
No, the RV was great because we never had to stop.
Right.
I mean, don't tell anybody that. Oh, we're on live. Crap.
Anyways.
Darn it.
So tonight, if you're tuning into the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat, we appreciate you being here tonight. It's a special night. We're going to be giving away a couple of the brand new Propola and DuraHive wax dipped boxes. The best boxes just got better. We're going to give 2 of those away. If you don't win, we still want to give you an opportunity to get some by using Stream Team 10 as a discount code at naturesimagefarm.com and get a 10% off the Propola and DuraHive wax dip boxes and also Hive Alive pollen patties. It is that time of year.
Feed your bees.
So here, what time is it? It's 8:42.
Yep.
How about 9 o'clock on the hour? We'll give the first one away. In the meantime, guys, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we feel are really important that really impact our beekeeping in the spring, things that we do early on that sets us on a good path and really gets a good foot forward with our bees in our bee yard. Let's start with Bruce. Bruce is in Dothan, Alabama area. Bruce, your spring already sprung a couple weeks ago, but let us know what are some of the things that you do that you, as far as your spring prep, that you really feel like make a huge difference in your beekeeping.
Well, the last couple of years, I've kind of started feeding more and more going into spring. I've actually fed this year a lot of Hive Alive fondant and I got some pollen patties, the global patties when I was at the conference as well. I've been trying that out. The concern with that down here can be the hive beetles. I've also tried a little bit of the strong microbials fondant. And so I've been just keeping some nutrition on them. You want to make sure they have some weight. You want to make sure they have some food in there. That's probably, I would say, number one. But down here, the bees do brood back a little bit like in November, December. But when January hits, the red maples start to bloom here in January. And the bees just go crazy. They just start laying up brood. And it's not every hive, but it's a lot of them. I think a lot of it does depend on genetics. But a lot of them just fill up with bees so fast and with brood so fast that you've got to do something to be in the trees. We've already had some swarms around here for really about maybe even a month now. We've been having some swarms. And it's interesting, a few weeks ago, I put a picture sent you guys a picture of a swarm up in the top of a tree, and that hive never left. It's forming an open air colony up there. It's kind of interesting to watch. It's about 25, 30 feet up to see it getting bigger and bigger up there in that tree. But
wow.
So what I've done, a couple things. I went in, and I'm not sure if I even did a video on this. I just can't shoot videos of everything, but I actually went in and I started adding boxes probably about 3 weeks ago. I put some deeps and some just adding space for a lot of the colonies that were getting overcrowded. The thought was, and the hope was, that they would begin to go up into that box, fill it up, lay it up, and be able to start making splits. And I've already done a round of that with a bunch of my bees, and I ordered some queens. So we're in spring here, and I'm going to do some more splits, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. Going to do quite a few splits on some other ones that I prepared, and their bees are starting to move up in them and lay. And so that's why I'm trying to increase my numbers, but make the split strong enough that they'll make some honey for me. And that's kind of what I'm doing. But I think the most critical thing is just making sure they don't starve. Hopefully they're doing okay with mites. I've treated them quite regularly, and I haven't done a lot of mite testing, haven't had a chance, but I'm seeing almost no mites in the drone brood that's breaking apart. Speaking of drones, we got drones everywhere, big old fat drones just all over the place. So spring is here. We're getting swarms already. It's a little bit earlier than usual to be having as many as we're having. We're just a little bit ahead of schedule. I think we've had a little bit of cold weather back a few weeks ago. We've had some chilly weather, but we haven't had a hard cold snap like we sometimes do this time of year. But March is just around the corner, and unfortunately here, sometimes we have a pretty significant cold snap in March, and I hope that doesn't happen in a way that it will mess up the blooms or the bees. But we usually have a pretty time with some pretty chilly weather in March. And but beyond that, we're all in, and that's what I'm doing right now, is just trying to stay ahead of these bees a little bit. I've got some colonies that are the ones at Honey Hill Farm, the colonies I managed for a friend of mine. I just got out there late. I think it was either Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon. Had a hard time getting back to him. He's got some projects going on his place, so I couldn't really get my truck back there. So I walked back there, and I just put some fondant on them, make sure they didn't starve, some palm pays. But some of those colonies, they're double deeps, and I think 3 or 4 of the 6 were so full when I cracked the lid that you can't see any of the tops of the frames. There's so many bees in there, and they're double deeps, and they are just packed with bees. And they weren't super excited to see me either. So I don't think I even took my smoker. I'm like, I've just got to get some. It was getting late in the evening. I just put the food on them, but I'm afraid some of those are going to swarm. And I hope they don't, because he wants the honey, and so if they swarm, it may make it difficult. But my goal is to eat. I even split his, because last year I did that, and it just seemed to knock them back just enough so they gained that momentum before the honey started, and it worked real well. So we're all in, and I'm trying to figure out how to find time to do everything. And so keep watching the YouTube videos. I'll try to keep you updated as to what I'm doing here, and we'll just keep rolling ahead.
Bruce, what's something that are you worried about anything right now
I'm worried about, of course, you just always have a little bit of a concern in the back of your mind about food. I haven't fed a lot of liquid feed. I did feed some of those splits I made, but I haven't fed a lot of liquid feed. Of course, that is probably your biggest concern. And number 2, just the swarming. Can I help keep it from swarming? Can I keep enough space in there and just keep that from happening to the extent that they swarm out and I don't get honey? I honestly, I expect there to be some swarms here or there. The bees build up so fast, and that's okay. I just hope that we can, if they happen to swarm, that we can either catch that swarm, or if not, that they at least only swarm once and keep enough population in the colony to get a new queen in there and do well. Sometimes, this time of the year, as fast as they build up, if you're not in them in a couple of weeks, you may not even know they've swarmed from the population, because they've got so much brood built up that they'll just almost not even skip a beat. But if they swarm in prime swarm and start doing cast swarms, and they swarm 5 or 6 times, then they can swarm out, and it'll just ruin that hive for the honey crop. And so I'm not super upset or really irritated if my bees swarm. I figure it's part of nature, and if I don't get it taken care of or managed properly, it's just part of what bees do. But I do want them to stay strong enough to be able to make honey. That's kind of those are probably my biggest 2 concerns. My main goal is honey, so I want to make sure I've got enough bees, enough colonies to make the honey that I need, and strong enough bees to make the honey that I need. And so that's my main concern. And by doing that, I want them to stay strong, have enough food to survive, and be strong. And number two, hopefully prevent a lot of swarming.
Bruce, have you seen enough of early spring to get kind of a feeling of how things may be going?
Yeah, I think we're right on schedule, maybe a little ahead of schedule. We've had a fair amount of rain, but it hasn't been like we've had some nice warm sunny or just warm days mixed in with a couple of days of rain here or there. The difficult thing for me has been since I mainly remember my bees on Fridays and Saturdays, those are the days it seems to choose to rain every week, it seems like. And so I've had a lot of weekends where I couldn't get in the bees and I got a little behind. But I think we're about right on schedule, maybe a little ahead, but I don't think we're way ahead of usual. The big difference this year is if we don't get that little cold snap like we usually do, we're in it now. If we get that little cold snap, it seems to slow them down just a little bit and give you a little bit of a time to breathe. But if we don't have another significant cold snap, we might, we're in it. We're definitely in springtime here. We're in spring mode. And the bees, I will tell you, swarming has been a little more than usual this early. Usually you'll hear of one or two here or there, but there have been quite a few people reporting some swarms. And so normally what I've found is that we start seeing swarms the first week of March. That's when I usually get my first couple of calls where I really start hearing about them significantly. And by the end of March and April, they're just game on swarms everywhere. But this year we've already been hearing, it's almost like that first week of March type. We're starting to hear a few swarms here or there. So I think that's telling us that we're a little ahead of schedule. Assuming it doesn't get too cold and freeze everything out, I think hopefully we're set up for a really nice year.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited to kind of follow along, Bruce. It's a double-edged. Bruce is kind of like a double-edged sword for us. He's the beginning of spring, and he's the beginning of spring. And so, ready or not, we know it's coming. So we'd like to see it. It's so cool to know that Bruce is getting in the thick of it. At the same time, it's like, oh boy, it won't be long and we're going to be in the thick of it. Are we ready?
When people comment on the YouTube channel, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're in your bees. That's so awesome. I'm up here in Wisconsin and we're still 5 weeks away. I'm like, look, it'll be here before you know it. Everybody's gonna have stuff happening here very soon. One person from, I think it was Halifax or Nova Scotia or somewhere up there in Canada said they don't see swarms until June or make splits until June. I'm like, wow, that's a short season if you don't see that until June. So that is still a little ways off, but anything considered spring is very close. March, April, that is just around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. And so I ordered. My biggest issue with trying to do splits early. I can do them almost every year, but when you get cells, if you have queen cells, if you raise queen cells, or if you purchase queen cells and you put them in there, like right now, and then you have a cold snap for 10 days or it rains for 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever, those queens might not get mated. But if you can get a hold of some mated queens and you can do some real early splits, that can give you a head start. And that's what I did with those queens I'm trying from Zach out in Hawaii. And so the beautiful queens, I've got a video coming out on that. I'm working on it now and it should be out in a couple of days. But since it's just the four of us on here and nobody else is paying attention, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. I had a really good success rate with the acceptance of those queens, and they're doing well. That of course, a weekend that you really don't know, but they were really laying up those hives and looking well. And to see the final number, you'll have to watch the video. But it was very good. It was about as good as I've ever had acceptance rate on queens when I put that many in there. So maybe I did the splits right and got the queens in at the right time, and maybe I've kind of quote unquote got it figured out, although as soon as I say that, the next time I do it, I'll lose half of them. So,
well,
I'm very hesitant to say I've got stuff figured out because I've been extremely humbled many of these times the last couple of years on things that I thought I knew what I was doing and really I kind of overthought a lot of things. And now I'm just kind of going back to the basics on how I introduce queens, how I do things that worked for me all those years. Why not just go back to what's worked in the past? So that's kind of what I'm doing with my queen introductions and my splits and everything else.
Bruce, you've been beekeeping for quite a few years. It seems as though a lot of us beekeepers never really feel like we truly have it all figured out. And I think what ends up happening is we get into this cycle of we hear other people's ideas and other methods, and there are bits and pieces of it that is alluring. And then we want to try to figure how can we incorporate that into our beekeeping program. But what you end up finding is you keep doing that too many times, year after year after year. You never really button down and figure out exactly what is right for you. And you end up chasing your tail because you're chasing all of these new approaches and new ideas rather than just settling in on something that is working. A lot of folks, if they could find, even a 60 or a 70% success with something to build a baseline from, I think they would be way more ahead than if they are finding 90% success within 2 colonies using this method, but yet all the other ones aren't thriving, or they're dying, or they're not making it through, and we did everything the same way. There's so many things to do, so many different approaches, so much different equipment to try. It's hard to really get comfortable and just say, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing this and tuning this up slowly and start getting my overwinter survival rates from 70 to 75 to 80 to 85 to 90 and get into that range. We've said it a million times. I'll say it again. I've got the boss here, Susie, with me to hold me accountable to every single word. But one thing that we're famous for saying is that there are no shortcuts to being successful.
Yeah, say it again.
There are no shortcuts to being successful, but you might find a shortcut to finding success. And finding success is completely different than being successful. And a lot of us were looking at this thing or this shiny thing or this new thing or this spin on something as that's what we're going to do. This is the silver bullet. You go all in, it doesn't work, and it sets you back on your heels. And for a lot of folks, that's the thing that keeps it prevents them from growing. And it also sometimes is the big learning curve where you lose half or you lose 70 or you lose all of them, and you're too brokenhearted, too discouraged to move forward. And so that's the hard part. We talk a lot about this with our presentations, hard lessons learned in the bee yard. But Brian, I want to hear from you on some of the things that you're doing as far as spring prep goes. Before we get going, we're getting close to 9 o'clock, and I don't want to cut you off mid-spring prep talk just to spin the wheel. So why don't we go ahead and talk about maybe spinning the wheel on the first giveaway tonight, the Propola EnduraHive wax dipped box here from Nature's Image Farm. Looking forward to getting that out for somebody. Let's do, I don't know, what should we do, Susie? What should we do for the giveaway? Hashtag EnduraHive. You like that?
Sure.
I like it.
We just we're not done talking about spring, so I guess we shouldn't say that. But yeah, EnduraHive sounds good.
Okay, hashtag EnduraHive in the comments below for your chance to win the brand new Propola EnduraHive wax dip box. The inside of these boxes are textured to mimic the inside of a bee tree, and as a result, the bees really do a great job of building a beautiful propolis envelope inside of the box. If you're not familiar on what that is or why that's important, I would encourage you to take a look at the work of Dr. Marla Spivak, the USDA lab in Baton Rouge. There is an incredible amount of information about propolis and how good it is for bees to have that inside of the colony. We've talked for years about the fact that our Caucasians and Carnies do a really good job of making a lot of propolis inside of the colonies. Years ago, when we look back to some of the gleanings from bee culture in the 40s and the 50s, there was a time where Caucasians and Carniolan bees were mainstream beekeeping. But as beekeeping grew and commercial beekeeping grew, a lot of beekeepers found that maybe they didn't like all the propolis on their hands and all the stickiness. So they started breeding that out of bees. I think a lot of us, when we look back to the record and into history, bees started going downhill from there moving forward for lots of different reasons. And so now here we are full circle. And when we've got the science and the studies that show that propolis is huge for the health of a bee colony, now we're doing a lot of things to bring that back and to get that implemented. Antiviral, antimicrobial components inside of the colony by having a healthy propolis envelope. It's really exciting. And these boxes do just that. They are textured on the inside to show that. I know I showed a little bit of this earlier. I'm going to try to get the camera. Try to get the camera to.
Show them the box, Nana.
There we go.
There we go.
So look on the inside of this box. What you're looking at is the inside of this box was not that color. All of you have two kind of different types of propolis, a beige and yellow, and then the fire red, all mixed in there. But the bees have done a phenomenal job of absolutely every nook and cranny putting that propolis on the inside, and it's really cool. That particular box was actually only even in the field for less than 3 months. That particular box wasn't even in for the entire season. Now, we've been testing these textured boxes. Anyone who's been here at Nature's Image Farm, if you've been out with me to kind of the Middle Ridge yard, you saw a lot of funky and weird numbered and painted boxes, and you're thinking, what is all of that? You may even have asked, and I said, shh, I can't tell you. That's what it's all about. So anyways, we're really excited about it. We're going to be talking a lot more about it. There's a lot of great beekeepers. Fred Dunn talks a lot about the propolis envelope. He's got a great interview with Marla Spivak on his channel as well. It's a big deal. Hashtag EnduraHive. Brian, what do you say we let her rip?
I'm letting her rip.
Yay.
All right. And the winner is M&J Habitat. Awesome. You know what? That's pretty cool. We've got a jar of honey from M&J Habitat, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're local to Ohio. And if I'm mistaken, you can let me know. M&J Habitat, awesome. Go to our website, naturesimagefarm.com. Hit that contact us. Shoot us an email and let us know that you were the winner, and we will get that box to you. So again, congratulations. If you didn't win and you're still interested in a Propola EnduraHive wax dipped box, go to our website, naturesimagefarm.com, and you can use discount code STREAMTEAM10, save 10% on that box, and also Hive Alive pollen patties. M&J Habitat says he'll be over tomorrow. Our grand opening for this spring is this Saturday, March the 2nd. So M&J Habitat, if you want to see us and pick up your box, stop out this Saturday, or we can talk about later time then too, or we can ship it to you. But we're excited. The shop's going to be open. I actually got myself into a little bit of trouble because our standard shop hours are Fridays and Saturdays. We are closed on Sundays for church and family time. And so I was thinking Fridays and Saturdays is what we do starting March the 1st. Guess who has a birthday March?
Oh, Greg, don't talk about
1st.
Yourself like that.
Oh.
It's the boss's birthday this Friday, March the 1st. Have I said that enough? So if you happen to be stopping by the shop this Saturday, March the 2nd, maybe you can wish the birthday girl happy birthday. But Friday, in observance of our queen bee's majestic birthday, the shop is closed. The shop is closed this Friday, March the 1st. I made the mistake in having it open at first, and not good. Not good, right? See that when the wives do that, that's when you kind of got yourself in a little bit of trouble. So anyways, the shop is closed on Susie's birthday, March the 1st, which is this Friday. However, the shop is having its spring grand opening this Saturday, March the 2nd from 10 to 5. So M&J Habitat, feel free to stop out this Saturday from 10 to 5.
And any extra birthday cake I will share.
And we should, we need a birthday cake. We need Susie birthday cake on Saturday. What do you think, Brian? Brian likes it. Yeah, see, maybe the only problem.
Dang it.
The only problem with having a birthday cake here at a woodenware supply shop is I might have to call the fire department ahead of time and let them know there may be a lot of candles being lit. Wait, did I? Did I just? Oh boy! Can you feel Greg digging his own hole? Can you feel Greg sleeping on the couch tonight?
I'm gonna buy you a futon for the farm shop.
Oh boy!
That deserves a sound effect of some kind.
What's the blue? What's this one? Nope. There we go. Did not land that one, Greg. Did not land that one. That's a no for me.
For more marital bliss tips, visit us on our podcast at Nature's Image Farm.
You know what? At least he didn't forget my birthday. I will go with that.
That's true.
It's been many years. I would hope you have it memorized, but maybe not.
Tom Sossman from Via Honeybees. Greg, open mouth, insert foot. Russell Koopman. Yeah, that's it. Doghouse special.
That's right.
Well, I was going to take her to her favorite steakhouse, the WC Steakhouse.
You were not.
Yep. You
were not.
Anyways, Brian, let's change the subject quickly, fellas. Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Tell us all about some of your big spring prep tips. Ooh. Look at this show. And tell.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. No, I started with, as everybody knows, I've been trying to move towards like having uniform equipment, just to keep things kind of standardized across the board, just to help with efficiency. When I first started out, I had so many different style boxes and gear and everything else. And it was like, if I needed to add boxes, it's like, okay, well, that one is this, that, and I got sick of that. That gets very old, having to keep tabs on every single box, what it is. And, so I started with like uniform in the apiary. And then also I just went through when I added that fabric down just to help out as far as just maintenance throughout the year, just because having to weed whack and everything around colonies, it just gets very old. So I went and did that. I'm going to, set aside from even getting into the colonies, I'm going to also get out and organize that room that I have. You saw it. There was like that divider wall with the chicken wire in there. That wall's coming out. I'm going to reorganize that room. That way things can just be a little bit more efficient, more organized. Our weather here is, we are probably days away from our very early maple that I always talk about every year, from that popping open. The little, I forget what they're called. What are the little, when maples start to open, those little red strands that come out?
Right. Yep.
I forget like the terminology. But those I noticed just yesterday starting to come out. So tonight is actually in a 14-day forecast, the last night that is below freezing. Now that's good because those have not opened yet. So we've got this Sunday, I think it's going to be 69. Monday, they're looking at 72. So my plan, and this is so early, I mean, for me to say first week of March that I would crack a box, I would never have expected that. But I think just because of the temps, I'm going to get a jump start, and I want to get some patties in. I flipped over my fondant to the strong microbials that had the apis in it probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, just because I wanted to get them out of that winter phase and start moving them towards like the gut health and just get them in that direction. So, and with the apis more mirroring, what nectar offers them, I just want to get them started down that path that spring is here. So if the weather cooperates, I'm going to look at the cluster sizes, and I'm thinking on scrunching them all down to one box and then put one deep, that is, and then put a medium above it. So I'm going to start my transition to the single brood. So that'll just be like first phase. I'm hoping to get that done. Just, I wouldn't normally do it this early. And like a lot of people always say, to crack boxes this time of year, really, you got to watch doing that, because if the temps don't cooperate and they can't reseal things up, well, you might cause more harm than good. But this year is just, I think we are probably 3.5 weeks early.
Wow.
So, yeah, because normally I don't see anything like with our maples until like the earliest I've ever seen is second week of March. It's normally third week of March or so where we see anything up here. And for like, I'm looking out, out here, in Lordstown, it's out in the country, and I can see the trees, and I'm just like, man, it is early. So, but I'm going to get in it here very soon. To get them switched over, if I can start that process, get the pollen patty on them along with that strong microbials fondant, and get them switched down into one box. I'll see if cluster size looks like, say they're filling out 6-7 frames, they're going to have that super put on them. That way I don't, put them in a situation where, they're going to be brooding up and then they're going to run out of room and I'm going to have swarms like mad. But it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. So can't wait to get this season started,
I can't believe, does it feel like to you things are
early? Yeah.
Like way early.
And it seems like my kids are asking to jump in the pond, and I'm like, well, you could dip your toes in since it's 70, but you're not jumping in the pond. That's just not a February weather conversation. So
is spring coming early for anyone listening tonight? Let us know in the comments below if spring is coming early. Maybe leave us a comment and say spring is early, and then leave us why you think that. Especially, I'd be interested is once this video publishes to YouTube tonight, I would love it if you could leave those comments there so we can follow along and see
and where they're located.
Where you're located and what you're seeing. One of my favorite metrics is our buddy Tennessee Tim McCandless down in the Culleoka, Tennessee area. They have been historically like about 2 weeks ahead of us, sometimes 3 weeks. But he was about 2 weeks ahead on his maples, and then ours showed up. Look at Tennessee Tim says here, Suze. He says, saw my first red bud blooming 2 days ago. Guys,
I've got that spring itch, like I'm going to plant the whole garden.
That is insane. Because I can't. There have been so many years that the red buds have been blooming for an Easter service, or just ahead or just after. And of course, Easter is a moving target.
Yeah.
However, why is that important? Because I can't tell you how many times that we have done our first grafts right at the time of red bud bloom. That just absolutely phenomenal. We are literally. Oh my gosh, I'm not even ready. I'm starting to get anxious.
You'll be fine.
Oh my, we could be. There's no way we could be 2 weeks away from grafting.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I'll have him ready.
She'll have us ready. Guys, that seems way early. We've been, look, I can't tell you how much flack that we've gotten over the years, because there are beekeepers who, for some reason, they don't like it when we say spring is here, and they don't appreciate that we're getting into our bees and cracking our lids, and they don't appreciate that we're putting pollen patties on for all the reasons that they think. And then every single year, we're rewarded by putting the time into looking at the cues nature gives us, and we're rewarded by having big, beautiful colonies of bees because we followed a couple of these spring prep tips right in a row, and it just went one thing hit and then hit and then hit. I love it. And Brian, you being in 2.5, 3 hours northeast of me, and you still feeling like, oh my gosh, it's coming fast and furious and earlier than ever. I just looked at the weather here, and I've got one more day, high time day of 40s, and then the extended forecast for the next 15 days, 21 days, 50s and 60s, guys.
Yeah.
Spring is here.
That is Easter dress weather.
Spring is here. The sooner you accept it, the better, because once you get to the mindset of you looking to the trees and the ground cover and the plants as the cue, that's when you jump. That's when you move. And that's when we have seen the biggest gains every single year. Here in Ohio, Bruce, he's in a neck of the woods where spring, his beekeeping season, like if we, would be fun. Bruce, if you can, this year, go back to when you felt like, and you said, okay, like when you said to your wife, honey, beekeeping season, it's officially here. If there was a point in time you took a photo or when that date was, Bruce, try to go back and figure out when that was and just write that down, make a note. And then let's, at the end of this year, when you clock out, if you really clock out, what I want to know is how many beekeeping days do you have in Dothan, Alabama versus us here near Hopewell, Ohio versus Bryan up in the northeast part of Ohio? Because the reason these things make a huge difference is if you're a knucklehead like me and Bryan, and you're keeping bees in this part of the country, and you only have this, and you love bees this much, but your beekeeping season is only this much, you have to really make the most out of this much and try to get these bees on track and to get to brood up, to build up, to do all the things at all the right times. And if you make a mistake, you suffer. But if you do the right thing, you're rewarded. And so that's why we're trying to be so close and ride this line to get the bees moving forward, because we don't have any time to waste, do we, Bryan?
No. And like I just looked, and after Tuesday, Monday we're going to hit, I just checked and it had said 72. Well, it's 71. That is, I don't think I've ever seen temps break 70, first week of March.
Yeah.
After that, now we're going to dip down into our norms of mid 50s, but it's still mid 50s, and at nighttime it's not going to go below freezing. So I think as far as the move that I'll make this weekend, I think that'll be good. I mean, if I can get them down into that one box and start that process, it cannot hurt. And I cannot wait. If I get stung this weekend, I really am going to love it.
I'm sure you can make that happen.
Hey, if you want to get stung, you can fly down here anytime you want, Bryan.
Anytime
I can help you with
want.
that. Just be sure you bring your bee suit with you.
Hey, I just found, I didn't find this picture. It just appeared here.
I'm scared.
Yeah, me too.
Look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Look at that.
So pretty. Yeah. Look at that.
We're going to have a check-in with this looks, okay, let's see. Let's everyone in the comments below, let's guess whose yard of bees is that? Yeah. Whose bee yard's that? Let's figure it out. Let's see. Leave some comments below and let us know whose bee yard is that. There are a couple hints here if you're not following along. But let's see. Let's start down there at the far end. That looks to me like a beautiful horizontal hive from Ruth and Ricky Rorick. We've got looks like some kind of I don't know what kind of boxes those are, but they're orange
and yellow,
and they're probably maybe like a polystyrene box. I'm thinking just by the texture. I could be wrong.
Those give away whose it is. We all know whose it is.
Mm-hmm. An orange loving beekeeper. Okay, we've got a beautiful eclectic combination of forest green and
those pink. Boxes. You know what though?
Hey Greg, there's the traveling Nature's Image farm box right there.
How did that get there? It's not here. It's not here at Nature's Image Farm. And look at the greenery. Look at all the leaves there. Yeah. That definitely is in Ohio.
That almost looks like Alabama. Almost.
Alabama. Well, that was
it's not my place though. They're not mine, but
that box there was a one of a kind unique box. Was an Enduro Hive wax dipped propola box with the Nature's Image Farm logo, and I saw it there at the premiere booth, And then I saw it. And then I saw someone maybe 40 yards away, and it was more of a nanny boo-boo. I have this box, and he ran and he disappeared into the crowd. I never saw
There
it again.
And there it is.
Like a leprechaun?
Like this is like visitation rights. I get to visit the. All right, any guesses? Let's see. Look,
people must know things way.
And the beekeeper is #Birdman. Birdman. There it is.
Birdman.
It's the one and the only Yappy Bee Man. Isn't that a good looking yard?
No. How can he go from having, you have like Ricky's construction there, that those horizontal hives are just phenomenal. And then you've got, the Hive IQ, it's all painted up and nice. And then the next one that's there, gray, pink, and green, that
does look like my bee yard. That's why people probably got confused if they saw those. My boxes.
And on those boxes that are all tore up, he's got an Apame bottom board.
Yeah,
he's got it. He's got it going on.
Like that's
I love Yappy, and Yappy's a good sport, so he's not gonna take offense to this. But Brian, when you were talking about getting in and cracking your lid, and naysayers jumping on you on the social medias if you say something like that, because how dare you do that? Winter's not over, and that box isn't sealed up. But if we're honest, how many boxes are out there that beekeepers have that are just, they might as well be a 3 seasons room? They are fully. I'll put it this way, and I've seen them at Bruce's place. I have in the past had them here. They're just they're fully ventilated boxes. Maybe we'll say that they are fully ventilated boxes, and the sides are split open, and there's holes in there, and there's it doesn't matter what you do on the lid and how much propolis is there, because there's holes everywhere else. That's a fact. That's part of beekeeping. So I love it that Yappy has a nice eclectic mix of different colonies and things. I'm sure he's going to be enjoying seeing what bees do in the horizontals, and seeing what bees do in the Hive IQs, and seeing what the bees do in the propola, especially with the Apame bottom boards there. I think it's a nice touch there. Mm-hmm. Yappy, thanks for sharing that picture, and thanks for letting me visit the Nature's Image Farm propola box, even if only through the power of web streaming. Isn't that nice?
Exactly. The interweb.
Well, tonight we're going to give away a Propola and DuraHive wax dipped box. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
It has been 20 minutes since
it's 9:22.
The last one.
We're going to give that one away right before we go to sign off tonight.
Okay.
So that's going to be awesome. If you see the ticker down below, hey, if you didn't win a Propola box and you want to save some money, use discount code STREAMTEAM10 at naturesimagefarm.com and save 10% tonight only on Propola and DuraHive wax dip boxes and Hive Alive pollen patties. It's that time of year, and so we want to help folks save some money to be able to get their bees fed and get them built up.
Yes.
Brian, I asked Bruce, if he had some kind of inkling on how the season was going to go. I know for you it's a little early because you're just barely inside of your colonies. You mentioned that you've got some strong microbials products on there. You've got some pollen patties on your colonies. You're looking forward to kind of building them up. You mentioned that you feel like spring is 3 and maybe 4 weeks earlier than usual. Do you have any gut feeling on what the beekeeping season may look like up in the northeast of Ohio? And I might add one last thing. I believe it was yesterday. Are you ready for it? This is absolutely bonkers.
What?
The first reported swarm that I have seen on the Book of Face for any Ohio Facebook groups was just reported that the very first swarm just happened in Northeast Ohio.
What?
Absolutely bonkers. Guys, if you are in the mindset where you're going to rest on your laurels for another 3 or 4 weeks and then start figuring out what the beekeeping season looks like, you may find yourself with a lost opportunity. We just don't have that kind of time in Ohio. When the season kicks off, if you can be just ahead of it, then I think that's for us as the best thing to do. Brian, talk to us a little bit more about, you mentioned as far as your spring prep, you've got some ground cover underneath of your colonies to suppress weeds, keep things nice and high and tight as you mow around there, keep a lot of the bugs and things off the stand, maybe from getting inside of the colonies. What are some other things that you're doing to really kick this year off strong?
Yeah, my part of my plan, and I think this will be the third season that I'll do it, is get the supplements on them early.
Yeah,
I've tried, like the last 2 years, I've been fairly accurate in my timing, where I've tried to get the pollen patties on 3 weeks before they had any type of pollen source out there.
Yep.
This year's going to be a little bit different, though, just because Mother Nature is, Mother Nature this year, and we're early. So with how early I think our season is going to start, that's why I'm going to get those supplements on them now. It truly, it doesn't hurt. I mean, if they're not going to use it, they're not going to use it. But with our weather, how it is, and how Ohio weather is, it fluctuates so much. If we end up in a 7-day or whatever, an extended period where we have rain, nasty weather, and they're trying to brood up, well, where's their pollen going to come from? So I like them to have more or less that internal source. And it's worked. I mean, the last 2 years, it's worked out really well here in that, when I'm seeing folks on the Book of Faces show pictures of their colonies, at least in this area. Mine have always had a couple extra frames of bees as compared to others that did not supplement.
Yeah.
Now, it could be a double-edged sword in that if you beef them up too much and then we end up in a cold spell, well, you just have to stay on top of their feed. But, it's worked out for me exceptionally well the last 2 years. So I'm going to continue with my supplementing in the springtime, and then, hopefully, 71, I mean, do I even do a mite wash now? It's just that type of things that I'll probably toss around in my head, but I just want to get things set, because this year, everybody knows that I'm going to switch over to the single brood. So, but it really, if you think about it, like right now, it's not going to be just a single deep and then I'm going to stack them up. It's going to be a single deep with my super. And then it's going to get to a point where I'm going to slam the queen down into the deep, throw on my excluder, and just let them go gangbusters. So this season, I am hoping, if everything falls into place, I'm hoping that I can get at least 750 to 1,000 pounds of honey. I want to up my honey harvest. I've got the equipment. In fact, today got an email saying that my bottling tank is going to be delivered tomorrow. So I'll have my bottling tank. I got the new bottling system. I've got everything set up and ready. So I think I'll be able to handle, having that extra harvest. But we'll see, we'll see what the year holds. This year also, like what you said earlier, just focus on that plan and don't get distracted when I see this and I see that. And while the YouTube, this person's doing this and, they're talking about that idea and this and that and whatever. I have a plan in my head right now what I'm going to do, and that's going to be it.
Good.
I have my queens are 2 hours and 18 or so-ish minutes away. So when I need them, that order is there. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to play around with, last year what bit me was I played around too much with, wanting to get a couple queens here and a couple queens there and do this and do that. I played around too much and it bit me in the rear. So I just want to stay focused and, just get back to the roots, and get a system in place. So I see Jason here, hashtag Brian Polebarn.
I think that's amazing, Brian, that you're focused, because keeping it simple is going to be so important for you. And I just think that those printers and the Queen-Rite dials are going to keep you so busy that if you don't have that bottling tank and all that quick moving machinery, you might not be able to keep up with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, first place, inventors just exploding, and
you're funny.
You know what I just realized?
Blue ribbon winners just.
We are going to have a 10-hour drive each way with a North American Honeybee Expo blue ribbon winner.
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh. Brian will be like our Shark Tank think tank. We'll just
it's going to be bouncing off of every window. Boom, bing, 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 bing.
Question, Brian.
And I'm a good note taker.
I feel like I'm Dwight Schrute. Question. When we open up your door to rest area, should we have a red colored carpet for you? I think we should.
Is he bringing his blue ribbon? Question.
Bringing your blue ribbon.
Answer.
You know what I do want to do? When we stop at, I don't even know what airport we're stopping at to pick up, Bruce, we need to have signs.
Yes.
Bruce, Jenny, and stand there and hold them up.
Mom, if you're watching, get your duct tape out. Your white poster board.
All right, Brian.
Make a list.
Okay, this is going to be hilarious. Brian, we may have to push up our... Okay, so let's see. All right, we're going to have to push up our rendezvous time at the farm before we head out by maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Because what if we show up and we're in baggage claim, right? And we're standing there with Dothan Shogun, right? And we're getting a video, and here's Bruce, right? And maybe we could have a complete welcoming party for folks who are in the Madison, Wisconsin area. Maybe they could meet Bruce right in baggage claim. Oh my gosh, have a whole group of people just chanting, Bruce, 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 Bruce. I mean, what else could we say? Governor Bruce, Jenny. We could say, how big of a sign can we put on there? Welcoming to Madison, Wisconsin, Bruce's Bodacious Body Bars R Us and Emporium. That would get a little bit long, but I mean, no, Bruce is not feeling that one. Come on, Bruce.
He loves it. He's just not saying it.
That's fine. Whatever y'all want to do, it'll be fine.
Bruce, is a good sport. He just rolls with it.
He does.
He's never going
to me and Mike Berry, huh?
Well, you guys have that Southern hospitality. You just keep smiling and just roll with it.
Look at this. Tennessee Tim says, Susie, all jokes aside, you need to record his conversations on the road. I learned more about queen rearing on a ride with y'all than 10 years of YouTube watching.
That was a fun ride.
That was a fun ride. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, Mom said she'll make the signs. Check.
All right, there we go. Oh, let's see. There she is. Grandma Terry is going to make the signs. If she makes the signs, Bruce.
She is the queen of duct tape, all colors.
We have to. You guys remember when I turned
40?
The young age of 40? The entire row of fence posts in front of the farm had all kinds of Lordy, Greg's turning 40 and just all the. Oh my gosh.
People honked for a week until he ripped them down.
Yeah. Wow.
It was fun.
Good times. Before we go any further, I want to take a minute to thank a lot of the super chats tonight.
You guys
Brian,
are awesome.
Thanks for your super chat. We're going to put that right into the fuel tank to go up to Wausau, Wisconsin. Again, we had Michael Yankee on earlier, and him and his team have done a phenomenal job of putting on the Beak Meet 2024 conference this March the 16th in the Wausau, Wisconsin area. If you'd like to join, see the stream team and great speakers like Cayman Reynolds and a whole long list more. We are so honored. We will be speaking on homestead beekeeping, some of the little secrets and beautiful opportunities for creating abundance with bees on the homestead.
Yeah.
That's where our roots are from homestead beekeeping, and the homestead beekeeping grew and grew and grew to what we are doing today. And so it's a very important part of our storyline and a huge building block it was a stepping stone into where we are today. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to thank you, Castle Hives, for that $20 super chat. I want to thank Mr. Dave Dyer. He's going to catch the rest on the flip side. He's got to check out. But Dave, thank you for that super chat. I want to thank Bruce's Bees. Hashtag happy birthday to Susie.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks for that. Oh, look at Brian's got all the things, man.
Cool kid. I mean, he's like the one with the Super Nintendo before it was out.
Oh, those kind of kids, man.
I know, right? I was always the one who was like,
he probably had the Reebok pump shoes first, and the starter jackets first, and the slap bracelets first, and the Pogs first, and
all the Beanie Babies first.
We're dating ourselves.
Probably sold them all for Mustang.
Jeremy
wallet.
Ewing, thank you for your super chat. Greg's Couch Fun.
That's right. Futon.
If you're just tuning on, I'll
find him a 1999 futon.
Hit that playback. You'll see why.
Yep.
Gotta thank our pal Jason Crook at Bohemia Bees. Thank you for Jason. That super chat. Happy birthday, Queen Bee. I don't know. Can we officially?
He's very sweet.
We officially have some really cool things that we're really excited to bring into the Nature's Image Farm fold. Are we official on that, Brian?
I mean, pretty much so.
Pretty much so.
I think it's a sealed deal, isn't it, Brian?
It's a sealed deal. Yeah. We are. I'm just going to say it. I'm so excited to say it. Yeah. Do you want to say it? You say it. Everything sounds prettier coming out of you than me. I'm just rambling hillbilly mush mouth.
That we are officially. How do you want to say that?
How do you want to say that?
I guess I'll make it sound rappy.
Rappy? Like hip to the hop, but don't stop?
You know what I'm saying.
Would it be
good night? Just say it.
We are really excited about Queen Right Dial, available at Nature's Image Farm. We are so excited to have those exclusively here, and going to be available on our premium wax dipped hive kits coming soon. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Queen Right Dial. We're excited to be able to ship those all over the place and have them here locally at our supply shop. Talk about two great guys to support blue ribbon winners.
That's right.
Queen Right Dial.
No, I mean, Jason and I really appreciate, what's going to take place. We do. I mean, just to partner up with you guys and have the Queen Right Dial at Nature's Image Farm, to see the Queen Right Dial on the Endura Hive boxes, that's just, it's awesome. So, yeah, we're super excited. So, cannot wait.
Well, one thing I can say for sure is if we don't believe in a product, it doesn't come to the shop.
Right.
So there's that. That's all it needs said.
So stay tuned for a bunch more. There's going to be a lot of YouTube videos from a lot of great content creators about Queen Right Dial.
That's right.
And we're excited to share what Queen Right Dial means for us too.
Putting ours on the hives, and because we're just so excited to get them to so many people's hands.
Oh, and stay tuned for a very exclusive Nature's Image Farm Queen, because it's just us four.
Okay.
It's just us.
Stay tuned in the future for an exclusive Queen Right Dial product available only at Nature's Image Farm.
That's right.
Did I whisper that soft enough?
Sure.
Smooth enough?
Yep.
Matt Kirkland, thank you for your super sticker. We really appreciate No, seriously, you guys are awesome. I tell you.
When I start talking, Jason just, I could see him behind his typing, and he's just
okay.
Brian, shut up.
We got to fill these guys in. Okay, so here we are. We are in this big online corporate meeting, right? It's me and Susie with the CFO, the CEO, the R&D developer head of Queen Right Dial.
That's
right. We were all not zooming in. This is StreamYard. What do you call this thing? Streaming in, video chatting in.
Yes.
Right at this very, very big professional meeting, and then Brian just lets it rip with this huge opportunity. And Jason looks over, and he's holding up the paper. And what do you mean? And I quickly signed it, took a picture of it. Done deal. Sorry, it was done. Just like that. What do they say? Teamwork makes
the dream work. That's
dream work.
Right. It is 9:30.
It was sort of a situationship, right, Brian? Wow, that's awesome.
You're going to make me choke.
Well, we really appreciate you guys. So many fun things happening. What I really love also is a lot of these collaborations. There's this. I am hesitant on saying a new approach, but it really does feel like it's a fresh way where different manufacturers and distributors and suppliers can collaborate with each other in a way to where it's not about competition, it's about the collaboration. And so for us, we are so proud to offer the absolute best brands in the beekeeping industry at Nature's Image Farm. For us, that is a big deal. They're products that we use, we stand behind, not just the product itself, but the folks that bring the product. And so if you go to our website, nature'simagefarm.com, you've seen we're working on freshening up the website. If you click on supplies, you'll see all the brand new listings of supply lines, the full entire line of all the Larabi's equipment, including the INSTANTVAP compacts are on there. Hive Alive is on there. We're really excited, of course, the Endura Hive line of wax dipped equipment is also on there. And just added, we are now proud distributors of Apame right here in Ohio. Beautiful opportunity right there on our website. So if you're looking for Apame products, if you're looking for INSTANTVAPs, oxalic acid vaporizers, if you're looking for Hive Alive, the list goes on and on and on, wax dipped equipment, it means the world to us if you choose Nature's Image Farm. This is our business. This is how we keep the lights on. We're raising 7 kids here on the farm. This is our business. And when you choose to support Nature's Image Farm, we want you to know you're supporting a large family, small business. It means the world to us. So thank you. We've had a lot of orders come in tonight from Hive Alive pollen patties and for the wax dip boxes. We want to say thank you for that. If you didn't get a chance to win a Propola Endura Hive wax dip box, we have one more giveaway coming up.
That's right.
But also know that we want to help save you money tonight as well. You can use discount code STREAMTEAM10 to save 10% on Propola Endura Hive boxes and Hive Alive pollen patties at our website, nature'simagefarm.com. Only good tonight until 11:59 p.m. A little way that we can say thank you and help save you money on the products that you want to have for your bee yard there
for spring.
So again, thanks for all the super chats. We appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. I'm going to ask the boss here. I love doing the stream teams when it's on our week with the boss here, because I can talk and talk and talk. But I'm going to put you on the spot. Can I put you on the spot?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to ask you. Let's see. I'm going to really put you on the spot. And Brian drinking a glass of water.
Right.
But
there you go.
But seriously, let's just watch Brian drink a glass of water. Oh, over and done with.
You just are bad. You're just so bad.
All right, Susie.
Yes, it's just us.
It's just us. Sometimes folks look at beekeeping as there's all these hidden little secrets, all these things, the do's and the don'ts. Mm-hmm. I have my opinions on some of the things that I feel like have made the biggest impact as for us prepping for spring and getting the bees off to a good start.
Yes.
But I think maybe folks want 7 kids and a Greg. She has her hands full from DC's bees.
I just had to put that up there. Sorry.
She's, as you can see, Susie is in charge of the mouse. So
don't move your head. You just made that there. Come on back.
Come on back. Is somebody following us?
No. What did you do to the camera?
What happened to the camera?
I'll just snuggle in.
Okay, that's weird. The camera's moving. It's got a mind of its own.
Do. Okay, we're back. Okay.
All right, and we're back.
Sit up. Okay.
All right, boss. In your opinion,
yes,
what are some of the biggest things that you feel are important as far as spring prep that puts our bees in a successful position early on?
My number one, I'll give you two things. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, two things. My number one is to always remember that we need to feed them. So right now, what I would be doing, and I am doing, is putting our Hive Alive pollen patties on.
But how dare you put pollen patties on this early? Isn't that going to cause them to brood up prematurely, and then they're going to have young brood? Well, how dare me do what I want in my bees, because it's my choice. So thank you. But number two is to make sure I take time and reflect on what we did well last year, and then also clean up and organize after what you did. Number two. But remember to feed the bees. Feed the bees is the big one, and remember to clean up and do better so you're doing less of that in the spring. That's true facts.
I always go through and clean up after him. It's like, the hamper and then the dirty underwear right next to the hamper. Oh, did I just say that? Did you say you love having me on?
I just love having you on so much. I couldn't fathom loving you more.
I know. At least I'm honest.
You're honest, and it's true.
It's true.
If we're honest with, there are probably some very organized, extremely on point beekeepers on here who do everything right.
Raise all your hands, women that are the most organized. Yep, there we go.
Wow, look at that. The camera's following us again.
Yeah, there we go.
Isn't that fun?
Nope, back this up.
Wow, it follow. I didn't know it does that.
Okay. Come back to me. There we go.
You all are fancy.
Wow.
It's kind of creepy though.
All right.
Let's try to stay on Susie.
It's trying.
I would. I mean, look, that. I mean, come on. What is important is I admittedly don't do as good of a job as I want to do every single year.
Yeah.
There's never been a beekeeping year where I said, you know what? Nailed it.
I rocked it.
Nailed it.
But that's why we work together. And that's why I think having many hands makes light work, because what you do well are so many things. And the things you don't do well, I do well for you.
It's true.
So it really brings the balance.
One of the things that I would like to do better is close down the bee yards. Oh, this is a recording device. Not that you can't ever like replay this throw it back every time and say, remember when you set, so there's that. It's just us four. So,
Oh, sorry.
Oh boy. Jason Crook, I'm trying to have a serious conversation here.
I can't.
And what does he do?
He's
Greg's
so
dirty underwear replacement fun. That's
have so much fun on the way out.
Oh my gosh.
Me and Brian, between two of us laughing, we
may have to have some just candid conversation recordings, because I'm sure it's going to be
fun.
Wow. It's funny. It's true. Oh, stop. Okay. We've been chainsawing all day and are exhausted and getting slap happy.
Listen, I was up at, what time was it? I was up at 4:30.
You're up at 4:30.
Then 5. And then mom texted me at 5:53 and said, get to the basement. The storm's headed your way really fast.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a wake up call. And then I had to drag Greg out of bed. So there's that. We're slap happy now. We're like
slap
what?
Happy. Endura britches. Ooh.
19
I feel like Yappy, I feel like the Duluth Trading Company already has that market cornered on Endura britches.
We need them. You need them. Fabulous idea. Can I stitch those for you?
You want to start wax dipping my underwear now?
Your birthday is going to be
wax
so
dip
good.
Everything else in the world. Anyways, okay.
This is awesome.
This is going downhill in a hurry.
No, that's going to be
all
great.
these fine folks are tuning in tonight to hear about beekeeping chats and such.
I love it.
And we're talking about wax dipping underwear that I never find in the hamper and are always on the floor conveniently.
Bruce looks disappointed.
Yeah.
Bruce is tired of this already. Look at him. He's like,
He's like, I'm just tired, guys.
I'm just tired. I'm not tired.
He's muted.
Okay, the last serious thing that I want to say about that is that, hey, we all don't do the best job that we want to do. I don't.
That's okay.
But every year we keep trying to do better. We keep trying to tighten up the program. One of the things that I know that I can do better is just clean up after myself in the bee yard better. At the end of the year, try to get things more neat, more tidy, have a plan. We're going to talk maybe more about that later.
Yeah.
But there are some beautiful, our bee yards look beautiful and on point for a lot of the year. At the end of the year, you know, if we have dead outs, if there are four-way pallets or boxes that are not being used, they may sit up on their end. I may never get around to getting them until the springtime. It is what it is. I can do better there. But what I'm really thankful is Susie and the kids are really good at going through and quickly, methodically and meticulously getting things organized, getting things stacked, getting it kind of put right back together again.
Yeah.
So Straight Creek Apiary, Brian G, he's so ready for spring. Thank you so much for that super chat. But so Suze, it sounds like your big tip is feed. And I think that would be one of the things that I really started to see the difference is getting those pollen patties on, getting them on just ahead of the maple bloom really did start to make a massive difference. And I'll say this, it's not that the bees started brooding super, super early. It just seemed like when they started brooding, they were healthier and they were more rugged, and those bees had a certain coat to them. They had a certain luster that we hadn't seen before when we were not on our feeding game. Yeah. So getting those pollen patties on was super, super huge for us, especially getting them on before the maple bloom. So for us, that's what we're focused on the most right now is number one, pollen patties, followed by number two, hitting them with oxalic acid, especially with the new INSTANTVAP compact. It's so fast, so quick.
I'm so excited to use that.
It's just, what a beautiful piece of equipment. Maybe you'll get your own. Oh man, I should have just.
Don't even think about it. Don't even try to pull that off, Jake, like you were going to give it to me anyway.
Jake, if you're listening, if you're listening to your mom and dad talk about bees on the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat tonight, maybe we could laser engrave your mom her very own INSTANTVAP compact. Wouldn't that be special?
I have enough Sharpies. Everybody knows that I carry Sharpies everywhere, and I will label my own. Thank you very much. And
you will not let me touch it.
That's right.
See what I did there?
I just hide my good tools.
Huh? See what I did there? That was a genius move. Anyways, well, it's getting late.
That's right. Let's wrap this up with a wonderful giveaway.
A wonderful giveaway. A Propola and DuraHive wax dipped box. We've talked about it quite a few times. I'm going to play Brian. Let's do hashtag and DuraHive. I'm going to play this quick reminder of what that is, what that means. We're going to play this short minute and a half video, and then we're going to get right to the giveaway. So if you're interested in winning a free Propola and DuraHive wax dipped box, we would love for you to have them. We're really excited about them, and I know you will be too. We'll play this quick video and we'll get right to the giveaway. Go ahead and in the comments, put hashtag and DuraHive for your chance to win. Here we go. Hi, I'm Greg Burns, founder of Nature's Image Farm and DuraHive wax dipped equipment. Hey, as large family beekeepers, we saw a major need to do way better in protecting our investment with our beekeeping equipment from the elements for the long haul. So I coupled our practical beekeeping experience with our wood science background to create the DuraHive wax dip line of beekeeping equipment. Our unique wax dip process expels water from the wood, replaces and impregnates it with our proprietary blend of microcrystalline wax, offering superior weather protection without the mess or expense of paint. Our equipment is protected from the weather inside and out, preventing box rot, fungal growth, and decomposition. That's a huge savings in both time and money. No more reworking tired, worn out boxes year after year. Our wax dipped equipment is proudly made in the USA. So protect your investment with EnduraHive wax dipped equipment. No paint, no rot, no hassle. EnduraHive, built to endure. All right. Well, hey, we are real excited about the EnduraHive line of wax dipped equipment. We're really excited to have more information about all that here coming soon. Tops, bottoms, boxes, you name it. We believe in this product.
That's right.
And so we're excited for you to have those too. We're excited to have collaborated with Premier Bee Products to provide all the wax dipping for them for all those boxes. It's been amazing to have semi-loads of product come in, get wax dipped, and go back out knowing that they're going to go all across the country. Some of my absolute favorite opportunities when we are wax dipping boxes like that is when older beekeepers are doing this to leave that kind of legacy behind for their next generations, knowing these boxes are going to last when they're in their golden years and they know this might be their last year in beekeeping, and they want to leave a semi-load of boxes to the next generation in their operation. That we are so humbled, and it's such an honor to be the ones doing that for those folks. So we're excited for you listening right now to win a Propola EnduraHive wax dipped box.
That's right.
Brian, what do you say we let her rip? All right, Gary Stewart. That's awesome. Gary Stewart, met Gary at the Honey in the Hills conference in West Virginia. So I am so honored that one of our boxes is hitting the hills of West Virginia. That's
Congratulations.
Cool.
Awesome.
Gary, I know you know how to get a hold of me, but if you would, go to our website, naturesimagefarm.com, hit that contact us and shoot us an email. Let us know you were the winner, and we will get that box out to you. That is so awesome. Hey, if you didn't get a chance to win a free box, we still want to help save you some money. You can use discount code STREAMTEAM10 tonight only at naturesimagefarm.com and save 10% on Propola EnduraHive wax dip boxes and Hive Alive pollen patties.
Yep.
We can save you a little bit of money. We want to earn your business. We want to thank you for considering Nature's Image Farm for your nukes, queens, packages, and supplies. Guys, we're getting close to 2 hours. There's a couple questions here. Let's take care of those, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Let's see here. Okay. Question is for Brian from Jason Egan. Brian, I am in Utah. Our winter weather is similar, I think. All 3 hives went into winter strong, but now only have a softball-sized cluster beginning to rear brood. Thoughts?
I would ask, are they Caucasians? Because I've seen that when I basically switched or stopped buying Italians. That's, I think, like the go-to when everybody starts. When I started with the hybrids and that Caucasian line that you have, I noticed that, and Bruce noticed the same thing. They get so small that you're almost in like a concern, and then they just go gangbusters and just take off. So I would ask what if they have any Caucasian in them, and I would say don't worry. Now, if they're not, I would kind of question, but there's a couple questions that I have for Jason. What type are they? If they're only in a softball size, what kind of boxes do you have them in too? Because I would almost, the way our weather is, if they're in a double deep, I would just get one of them boxes out of there, So, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about it personally, at least with the stock that I have.
So Jason replies back, I've only bought Italian, but who knows what I got. Yeah. I've got something that comes to mind, but I'm a little apprehensive on saying it. Sometimes we may have a queen that nearly gets through the entire wintertime. You know, contrary to popular belief, queens don't necessarily 100% shut down all winter long. Mm-hmm. They may still continue to raise a very small amount of brood. And I think that's what also helps replenish that die-off throughout the winter. They're not brooding up where there is an entire, maybe not in our neck of the woods, not and then frames of eggs in December, January, February. But there is a significant amount of young brood that's a little bit surprising. And the only reason you know that is if you're cracking your colonies in the wintertime to take a look. I don't recommend that you do that, but some of us tinkerers who are wanting to know specifically what some of our genetic lines are doing, how and when and why, well, take a look. They do. They do brood through the wintertime very, very slightly, very, very smallly. But here's a concern. Now, Jason, I'm going to believe that they're just frugal. You've got a frugal colony on your hand, and they are going to ramp up when all the sun is bright and keep going. The one thing to keep in the back of your mind, don't dwell on it, don't worry about it, don't freak out about it. But if there was a situation where the queen didn't make it and she did die, you could start to see that they were starting to shed their numbers and not be replenished. So you could be in a position where you could be potentially queenless. And what you have is just the last of the Mohicans, literally. You won't know that until you get into that colony on some warm days to see if you do have eggs and they start to grow. But it's one of the things, there's nothing you're going to do now to really fix that. But there's a lot that you can do soon when the weather's warm enough to do a brood inspection, and you'll know if you've got eggs and you've got warm weather and you're seeing a little bit of nectar come in and you still don't see any eggs at all, and they get smaller and smaller, maybe something happened to the queen. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Bruce, what do you think?
Man, I've got so many different sizes of colonies. I don't really know what to say. We never down here, we never brood. I mean, we just always have brood in there. I've had a few, the Caucasians, Cardinals that have brooded way back, but for the most part, we've got a pretty good amount of population of bees down here. So I don't know what to say. If they're Italians, I don't know. It's I would just go along with kind of what Greg said.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll make it through, but you'll know soon enough. And if they make it through and they start growing again, that's great. If they don't, then you can just replace them with new packages or nukes in the spring. But hopefully they'll be okay. It's hard to say. That's a hard question to answer. Great question, but hard to answer.
Yeah.
Jason Egan has another question. Guys, is the shipping cheaper on unassembled boxes? Do you dip the whole box if it is assembled? Is there a benefit to buying an assembled box? Great question again, Jason. Yeah, we absolutely do not ship unassembled wax dipped boxes for a lot of reasons. But the main thing is you want that box to be assembled and fastened when you dip it. When you dip it, it helps to seal off and actually penetrate all of those penetrations to actually seal them off. When you simply just wax dip unassembled equipment, it's very hard to do that right and get the boxes to fit later. Number one. Number two, when you go to assemble that box and use a fastener, you're going to have open penetrations where that is the first point where water will go to, and that box can rot from that fastener point out. So while that's not a catastrophic concern, it is a major perk on having boxes assembled and dipped, knowing that every nook and cranny and every penetration of a fastener is protected. That's a big deal. So we only specialize in assembled wax dipped boxes. I think it's the superior way to do it. Wax dipping itself is not a new concept. It has been around for decades and decades and decades. However, how we go about doing that and the quality of the waxes has changed significantly. And we've developed a proprietary process to do that we feel provides a supreme product. It wasn't that long ago when anything that would melt into any kind of a tank, there are very large outfits that would use a 55-gallon drum, and anything that would melt went in there, and it would be over top of a turkey burner, and they're dipping their box. The boxes are getting protected, but there are far better molecular structure waxes now that are going to do a far better job of actually impregnating a way greater depths of the wood fiber itself. That's going to lead to a much, not only better protected box, but a better finish and better experience using the box. We only use we have a special microcrystalline blend. No paraffins at all. Only a blend of microcrystalline waxes. It's a lot more expensive to do it that way. It's a way higher quality of wax, but we have gone completely away from using paraffins. We can talk more about that later, but paraffins, gum rosins, anything that would melt has been used historically in the past, but there are, I think, a lot better ways to do that. Higher quality waxes, they're more expensive to use. It's a lot harder to do a great job, but when those things align, you end up with a box that is just phenomenal. So great question, Jason. DC's Bees has a great question. How many takes to get it right? I'm thinking he's asking about the little promo.
Cut. Probably a few. You're pretty good.
I don't think it was that many takes to put that little promo together. When it's something that you're not only passionate about, not only that you believe in, but something that makes sense, it's really easy to talk about something that is actually working, that you have experience doing. And so for us, when we married the practical beekeeping aspect with our wood science background, you put those two things together, that's what makes EnduroHive special and unique. And so we're looking forward to the folks who won the Propola EnduroHive wax dip boxes tonight. Congratulations, Gary Stewart and M&J Habitat. That's awesome. If you didn't get a chance to win a box, you can save 10%. Use discount code STREAMTEAM10 at the naturesimagefarm.com website. Only good tonight until 11:59. But we really appreciate all the support, guys. As we wrap this thing up, we're going to see each other soon in Wausau, Wisconsin area. That is, if Susie and Brian and me can somehow get past the bean burrito love in the truck from Ohio up to Wisconsin. Bruce, by the time that we pick you up, I don't know what the truck's going to smell like. Who knows what's going to be. Hopefully we're all getting along and everyone's just happy, hunky dory. But Bruce, what's up with you the next week? What's going on around the farm there? What are the bees doing? What are you looking forward to?
Well, this weekend it's going to be raining. Probably a good chance of rain, so I won't be doing a lot. I may just crack a few lids and just kind of peek in on them, but not doing a lot of bee manipulation. At least I don't plan to. Next week, I'm going to break out quite a few more splits, and I have a bead on some cells here locally that I think I've used in the past. They're pretty good, and just break down a bunch of splits, and then we're going to be holding on, trying to get to honey. And one reason I'm making the splits is to, first of all, kind of replace some numbers that I've lost, and second of all, I'm going to kind of go. I'm not going to be all single deeps, but a lot of them are going to be single deeps growing up. I hope to feed them and get them. We're going to, in March, we usually go through a little bit of a lull in the flow. I mean, it never stops from here on out typically completely, but it just kind of slows down for a little while. And so I'm hoping to kind of get them split, while I'm at the conference. The queens will be hopefully getting mated and ready to go. And then we'll see what we have results from the queen cells. And then I do hope to, shortly after the conference, try and make a few of my own queens. I just want to give it a shot, and see what happens using the easy peasy system. I've been wanting to do it. I've been telling people I'm going to do it, and I need to do it just because I want to see if I can do it. And so I'm sure I can. It's just so easy. I just fall back into buying, cells are like $4 or $5 a piece. It's so easy just to buy cells, but then you're not really propagating your own genetics. Of course, the drones are out there, but you're not propagating your own genetics in the queen. So I'm just going to try and play with that some this year. But in the next couple of weeks, just kind of trying to check on them, hold on for dear life, and see what happens. like you said, Greg, you hope you can get everything organized, and I never do. I never am ready. The problem is it really never ends here, honestly. It never completely shuts down here.
That's exactly
we always have things to do. We always, even in the wintertime when we're not really cracking, we're treating with oxalic acid vapor, or we're trying to get equipment put together. We're trying to go to conferences. It's just, there's always something. And with my situation also, working full time, it's just difficult to try and get it all done, but I do the best I can, and I still have bees that are alive. And that's why this year I'm trying to go back to the basics. Last year I did a lot of kind of what Brian mentioned. I was trying everything, all the different techniques, all the different things that different people are doing out there. And granted, they work and they're effective, but why do I need to do that when stuff I've done in the past has worked just fine and it's more simple? And that's kind of what I'm trying to get back to, is just go back to the basics and be more simple. I can be more efficient that way, and I don't have to, do a lot of crazy things. And so maybe I can stay ahead of the game a little bit better this year if I just go back to some of the basics.
Yeah.
Brian Lee's in here. Hey, Brian.
Brian Lee, thanks for the super chat. What a good dude. Happy B-Day, Susie. Hashtag Endura.
You.
You gave Brian a nickname.
Big B Lee.
Big B Lee. What a good dude. Big heart.
He is. He's
great
awesome.
guy.
Good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bruce, I think as the season unfolds, I feel like this is the year where a lot of folks are going to start picking up on the word that you use as far as intentional beekeeping. I think they're going to learn from Brian. They're going to learn from you. Maybe even learn something from us, because we all have a lot of hard lessons learned. And I think one of the greatest lessons that we have all learned in the bee yard is start with the simplest thing first.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Keep it simple,
Silly.
sweetheart.
Anyways,
when you do that, you can build from that.
Yes.
Right? But if you put too many variables in your beekeeping program, you will find yourself trying to figure out which one of these things isn't working. And then you're stripping all this back to try to find what your baseline is. And let me tell you, I can't tell you how many years that it took me that I was sorting through all the things, stripping it back to get to the baseline, right? But if you keep it simple and you build the baseline from there, you can grow and then start seeing gains, 5%, 10%, even 20% gains, because you've built a solid foundation. That's a big deal.
Well, one thing you see when you watch videos like from Bob Benny, or, I've gone out to you see people like my buddy Tyler down here, even you, Greg, when you go to commercial beekeepers that have to figure out a way to do things in the most efficient way, like Bob and Seth and those guys, they'll have a whole bee yard of singles, or a whole bee yard of nukes, or a whole bee yard of doubles. And then, so because they keep it consistent, they keep it kind of uniform. So they're not trying to manage a nuke over here and a triple deep over here and a nuke and everything is uniform. And they figured out kind of how to do that. And that's kind of my goal. When you go to my bee yards, now in honey season, sometimes you may stack them a little higher than others depending on the flow. But, I've just got so many different things going. It would be nice to be able to get them evened out a little bit. And that's I just want to figure out how to do that and just keep it more simple. But I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. And, we did kind of come up with that phrase here on the stream team. I'm sure other people have used it before, but intentional beekeeping. And I've got to really get to that. I think I'm intentional about what I do, but I can't be intentional in 50 different directions. I've got to be able to kind of narrow it down and just hone in on what really works. And I'm still trying to figure it out, but maybe I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Well, you're doing great. And I think the first step is always the first step, knowing that you want to try to strip it all back and make it simple.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying.
Yeah.
You're doing
but
great.
Then I go out and I make 30 splits. So, exactly. I'm trying to, anyway, we'll see what happens.
Brian, what about you, buddy? What's coming up for this week at Brian Coper, Castle Hives, Queen Wright, Dial Extraordinaire?
Blue ribbon winner.
Blue ribbon. Oh, North American Honeybee Expo blue ribbon winner.
You forgot one.
Brian Coper.
You forgot one. Captain Printastic.
Oh,
Captain Printastic.
He didn't put it on his label. That's
Mr.
why.
Mattel. I mean,
Yeah.
This goes on.
I have here. Hang on one second. We're gonna lose. Hang on. Where is it? I do have one here. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! Come on, guys, give it up. Let's say it again. Come on, Brian, put it up there again. Captain, fantastic.
Thumbs up.
No, I tell you, if Mother Nature cooperates, then I'm going to start my process for the season. I'm going to document everything. I know a couple people have said, "Hey, are you going to show, your transition over to the single brood and what works, what doesn't?" I show everything. If Mother Nature does not cooperate, what I'll do is I'll get work done in that building. So I'll still utilize the time. I'll just work indoors instead of outdoors. That's all. So it's at this time of year right now with what I have to do, it's not a loss. And one thing that I'm going to do also, I haven't even told the farmer dude that I'm not going to do this, but the 2 colonies that I had there that they ended up, they got robbed out is probably what happened to them. I stopped by there the other day, and then the farmer guy wasn't there, but I took my hive stand that I had there and I took it, and it's all over at the other apiary. So I'm going to focus on 1 yard, get everything set, and then if things work out, well, then I can move a colony out. But I want to get everything set with this new, more or less, I guess, style of beekeeping for me. And then I'll play. But I'm going to keep it very simple this year. I've got the plan in place, and that's going to be it. So, but I need to also figure out. I've got that tank coming tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to put it. So
kitchen table, right, Susie?
I to be honest, I don't know how. And it's not a monstrous tank. I think it's a 19 gallon.
Nice. That's nice.
What about that place you're cleaning out?
I was thinking about that, but the problem is I have that speed fill system also that I'm going to run in tandem. So I'm going to have the heated honey that then I'm going to have it hooked up on that bottling system. So I want to have that here just because when I bottle, I don't want to have to drive over and do my bottling over there. It's just, if somebody calls and they're like, "Hey, can I get 10 jars?" I don't want to have to drive 20 minutes just to, bottle up 10 jars of honey. Mm-hmm. So I need to just find a place here. It'll probably be in the basement somewhere. It's going to be heated, so it doesn't matter. But
hashtag Brian's pole barn.
Yeah.
That's where it's going.
And it's funny because some people, they're like, you claim that you're this hobbyist, but now you have all of like this stuff. But for me, it's all about efficiency though. And I look at it, and I said this a couple of years ago too, it's the time. And the time is really what we're not going to get back. So if I can make my beekeeping really efficient, then, maybe if going to the single brood, my inspection times go down, maybe instead of 15 colonies, maybe, I could have 20, next year, not this year, but we'll see, but I just want to get things ironed out, keep it simple, and have a good season. So
when you streamline things, they all go quicker. Everything. Yeah. So I know sometimes it's a little money up front or it's a little time up front, but then you save so many more steps and so much more time in the long, in the midst of a season.
Well, so how have you and Greg and Bruce, they know how I have bottled my honey prior to this.
The dedicated way.
The
Armstrong elbow grease dedicated way.
I had a funnel, a metal kitchen funnel, and I had a ladle. I don't have buckets. I'm serious. I don't have buckets that have the valves. So up to this point,
wait a minute, say that again.
Like the one day I sat for 4 hours, and I would literally Exactly. So, and it's just something like, if I was home, didn't have anything going on, I would sit and I would have my phone with YouTube or something on, and I would just sit in the kitchen.
Probably the Bruce's Bees channel. Learn all the sweet tips.
You know what? I did not know that was the situation for you, because I could have gifted you a bucket for all the time that you.
No, but you know what though?
You just like to torture yourself.
No, but and I had what I've done like the last 2 years. I've like I pulled 500 pounds of honey, and last year I did 600. So I had the cash as far as from selling the honey. I was just identifying, like initially I looked at, okay, when I pull my boxes, where is the bottleneck? And I needed a bigger extractor. Then once I got the extractor, I looked at it and I'm like, well, where's my bottleneck? Well, I needed an uncapping tank, because when the extractor's going, I was sitting there like this, just looking at, the frame spin. So I got the uncapping tank, so that sped the process up. Yeah. Then as far as my buckets, I got those hop filters. They're for actually brewing, that I think Jason told me about. They're those larger metal strainers. I've got 2 or 3 of those now. So where before, like those smaller mesh filters where you would have to really watch it just because they collect the wax cappings, now I leave my extractor wide open. So there's no bottleneck as far as extracting.
That's great.
Past that, then I looked and, last year, where was my bottleneck? And I looked and I identified it. It was, then finally the bottling. So I think from the initial harvest clear on to bottling now, everything is going to be efficient. So
that's great.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm thinking it's a business for you, Brian. I'm thinking we've got Bruce's Bodacious Body Bars, R Us and Such Emporium. I'm thinking we have Brian's Bougie Honey. Like, it is handcrafted, artisanal, small batch honey, literally ladling out one jar at a time. That doesn't
have the same
handcrafted personal
Bruce's
touch.
Bodacious Body Bars. It's just like your
Brian's
BBB,
Bougie. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think a lot of folks are going to enjoy seeing your videos this year, Brian, as you, people want to say scale up or this or that. What's in a name? Would a rose called by any other name be just as sweet? Does it matter? We're beekeepers, right? If we have tools that make this more enjoyable, quicker, more uniform, more consistent, more streamlined, that's what it's about. And that's going to look different for everybody. Bruce does a lot of things now to streamline what he's doing. Yep. You're doing things to streamline. It saves you time. It saves you money. And I think...
What are we going to do to streamline?
Oh, boy. Anyways, moving on. I want to thank the one and only Mr. Stan Gore.
It's awesome.
Wow. Thanks for that.
Awesome.
$50 super chat. Stan, you are awesome. Stan says, great job, friends. You make beekeeping better. I would encourage folks to go check out Stan's work. Go over to the Texas Friendly Beekeepers Facebook page, even if you're not in Texas. Wow, Stan leads by example. They keep it upbeat. They keep it positive. There's no room for all the nonsense and negativity. So Stan, keep up the great work. I could go on about Stan and his wife. Wonderful folks. And Stan, we appreciate you. Thank you for that super chat. And thank you for the diversion of the question that the boss lady was asking me about how we're going to streamline things.
I guess they'll have to ask you next week or whatever.
Well, next week we'll be on whose channel, fellas? Brian's it. All right. It'll be on Brian's channel. So, Susie, I enjoy having you on the Nature's Image Farm YouTube channel days for the stream team. Throwing you under the bus and the dirty underwear doesn't make it to the hamper. And
you brought that one back up again. Nobody noticed.
I just let that one, let that one just die.
We'll just streamline that.
Anyways, this coming week, we're excited here about Susie's birthday is turning.
I was going to say the first day open for the 2024 beekeeping season.
Yep. Our spring opener is this Saturday, March the 2nd, here at Nature's Image Farm in Hopewell, Ohio. If you want to stop out and see an INSTANTVAP compact in person.
Yeah.
If you want to see an Appa May hive in person.
Yeah.
How about a Guardian bee? So if you want to see them in person, Hive Alive pollen patties in person. We even have some Queen Right dials we can show you in person.
Yes.
What we are focused on is products that we use, that we believe in, that we stand behind. We want to bring those to the local audience. They're also available on our website to ship. We want to say thank you to everyone that literally helps keep these lights on.
That's right.
As we raise this large family on the farm, we appreciate you guys more than we can ever say. So thank you. I'm really looking forward to your birthday cake.
Me too. Mom always makes she makes me my favorite birthday cake every year. She knows it's boring, but it is my favorite. So I get it every year, regardless of if anybody thinks it's boring and it's hard to decorate.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. I will eat what I
like
want
cheesecake.
to.
I like cheesecake on my birthday.
Yes.
It's not really regular. Anyways, no one cares what I like on my birthday because when's my birthday? Never. Because I'm going to stay 30 forever.
That's it.
Me too then.
Anyways.
Ditto.
A lot of fun stuff. Check out our website. There's so many fun new things.
You guys, we're so excited for this year.
We've got packaged bees available. Several routes. Check it out.
Bees, queens, nukes,
hive kits,
yep,
wax dipped hive kits, ready to rock and roll. No assembly. Put the bees in, rock and roll, good to go.
Get your Propola box.
Yep, loaded with Premier Bee Products Foundation. Great stuff. We'll talk more about all those kind of things later, but yeah, definitely stay tuned. Check it out next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Castle Hives YouTube channel.
Woo!
Brian is going to talk about something.
There.
We're going to talk about something so big that you'll know about it the day before the stream launches.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Again, we're looking forward to seeing everybody at the Beak Meet 2024. Visit cwbees.com. Come see your pals here, the stream team, and a bunch of great speakers up in Wausau, Wisconsin this March the 16th. We appreciate you guys so much. We're looking forward to a wonderful season, but just know, spring peepers are here.
Yep.
It's time to get on it. If you missed out on the Propola and DuraHive wax dipped giveaways, there's still a little time left tonight. Stream Team 10 save 10% at naturesimagefarm.com on the Propola and DuraHive wax dip box or Hive Alive pollen patties. We appreciate you guys. As always, we want to remind you to be the lighthouse
and be the change that you want to see in this world. God bless.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.